So today's topic, AI. So couple disclosures. First, I went to school at Nova Law School in Broward County. Nova was from day one, they instilled tech into us. Um, Probably not much in college. This is 1996. But they were, for example, they knew where this was going. The second year, there was mandatory laptops, even the Wi-Fi. Remember the calling card that you would put on the laptops back then? But I can tell you that if a professor saw you in the law library using the textbooks, they would literally take the textbooks away from you and say, go to the computer lab where we had to use Westlaw. So I was always very grateful to Nova for doing that. I don't know where they're ranked today, but they always rank like number one, at least with Wired magazine for many years about being into tech. And so, of course, in my profession, this is important, right? I'm using tech right now. But of course, when AI comes around, I'm like, okay, what is going on here with AI? And I will say, at first, it was kind of scary, and then as more time goes by, more questions start popping up. And I'll give you an example. I saw the Bill Gates interview a while back ago where he had said, or it was, I read the interview. I think he said, we'll be working 2 to 10 hours per week in the future. The other day, another article came out that said CEOs are terrified. Um, Up to 50% of CEOs could lose their job. And I'm seeing that pattern that apparently AI is taking over everything, right? Now, wait till you see what my issue is. Then I read another article over the weekend that says, I'm not buying this AI thing. I don't think it's going to take over everything. I wish it would fix a lot of things and make us cancer free and everything, but we see the errors, the hallucinations and everything because AI, of course, tries to answer the problem. I just read a lawyer over the weekend as well that the appellate court, usually it's the state supreme court. I don't know how it is in other states. I know how Florida is. Where basically, if you get if the Florida bar issues, the ruling is you should be disbarred, you can appeal that to the state supreme court. It should be like that in all states. And they came back and said, yeah, well, you should be disbarred because there was fake citations in an appellate brief. Now, the lawyer said it was some staff, an intern, whoever who drafted that. But ultimately, the buck stops with you. It kind of reminds me of RFK, and now his Making America Healthy Again report was created by AI. And the simple explanation of AI is just that it will try to find an answer. And so I remember on CNN, Fareed on his show GPS, I remember said, he was asking, I think it was the one they call the godfather of AI. He proposed a question. You teach AI to make a paperclip, and it makes paperclips and eventually run out of the metal, the alloys to make it. And then it starts making other material. And then eventually it runs out of all the other material and it'll start using humans to make paperclips. And the person said, yeah, that's basically how it is. And that's when I freaked out. I said, oh my God, we're taking over. By the way, this comes after a report that whatever company told the AI bot to just disengage, turn itself off, and it didn't. So that's why we all freak out about robots are taking over and AI is taking over. But my issue is always financial. And so here's my question: if the CEOs are we're dismissing them, right? If we don't need a CEO, then we don't need the lower echelon, lower level employees, right? So we got rid of the employees, and AI is making everything, right? What are they making that we're going to buy with what money? And that's where nobody seems to have an answer for that. So the answer is AI is going to, of course, the tech bros are saying AI, we need AI. It's going to make everything better for us, right? Life is going to be simpler. You're only going to work 10 hours a week. Well, how much are you going to pay me 10 hours a week? Am I going to get paid the same so that now I'm filing for bankruptcy in 6 weeks because I can't live off 10 hours of salary? How does that work out? And nobody seems to have an answer for that. So guess who does have the answer? See, I was thinking AI. So I got into discussions with AI. Listen to that, sounds like discussions. Um, and you can manipulate AI. I've seen it. I work for a legal tech company, and you can see how things are phrased in a certain way that will guide AI down a certain path. And so, since it wasn't answering my question, I just got a little more manipulative or aggressive in trying to gear it towards a specific direction where it finally said, interesting, arguments that you're making. Uh, we need to look at universal income, which I know that's always been the answer, although no tech bros or anybody else says that. But universal income, isn't that like a form of socialism that half the country hates to get political about it? And by the way, how does this universal income work? Are we paying me what I make now, or am I getting paid less? I mean, I'm 53, so maybe I could be making more in the next 10 years. Am I going to get paid the same as a doctor? What about a blue collar job? Are they getting paid the same? How does that even work? How do they even get to that conclusion? I'll tell you what AI said. It had no clue other than I make interesting arguments. But that's what I'm not understanding, and what gets me frustrated with AI. And I've kind of like stopped reading about it, other than whatever technology is there. Like I said, it's part of my job. I need to know about it. But I just find it funny that the answer is AI is going to take care of everything, and it's like, so then what's left? So if AI makes this coffee mug, and it makes my microphone, and just makes everything that I have in this room here, and completing my laptop that's over there, and the screen behind me, with what money am I going to buy that stuff? And where are we getting the material from? Who's going to pull out the materials? AI going to do that? Or do we all have to go to fabrication type jobs? What's the answer to that? The answer is there is no answer. And I see a lot of that from maybe not the people in tech. The tech people just say AI is great. They're taking over everything, and your life will be so much better. Because what are they going to say? They're going to phrase it like I am, like AI is going to make you lose your job. Then you're going to push off AI, right? And I think Congress has to get to that point eventually. They have to draw the line somewhere. I even look at education, which of course I've been teaching for how many years now? 12, 13 years. And it's like, okay, is AI going to get rid of professors? Every time I ask that to AI, the answer seems to be no. But of course, it could make learning easier, more fun, more interactive. It could help us, going through, reading a 20-page paper. It could help break some things down for us, or maybe seek further clarification if something is mentioned, or maybe a case is mentioned that we're not familiar with. But if that's the case, and we're going down the path of universal income, first place, why would you even go to college? If the answer is there's no jobs, what's the point of going to college to have a degree in something that AI already took over? So honestly, I'm not into fear mongering. It's either the end of society, or like I seem to believe, few things live up to the hype. Excuse me. And so maybe, yeah, we're seeing changes, and who knows what those changes will be like in 5 years. I like to think we can still pull the plug, kind of like that old, not old, I guess, man, maybe 15 years ago, maybe, I don't know, a movie from Bruce Willis where he had done that. He literally pulled the plug. um, but it does make you think, and I'm always advocating critical thinking. It's like, okay, fine, I would love to work 2 hours a week, but you have to answer the question, how am I paying for stuff? Can I still go play golf? By the way, the golf course, I guess, would have robotic um, lawnmowers, and then the greens will be perfect because that's being controlled by another AI, bot or whatever. It doesn't make any sense because I can't afford to play golf if I'm only working 2 hours a week. So it's just my rant. Obviously, I tie it into economics just because I think they're jumping out of a plane without a parachute. Forget a parachute and haven't checked yet if it works, or there's even a safety chute inside the pack. It just looks like they're diving head first, and jump, and the net will appear type approach. I get it. We need AI. I think it's helpful for a lot of things. We've seen all the issues that it's caused already. I just wonder, what is the end game here. If anybody has a theory, I'd love to hear it, because mine is just more on questioning. I just don't understand what the end game is if AI is making cups for us to drink out of, but I can't afford the cups or the coffee that goes in it. So I don't know. Any theories, let me know. But I'm definitely, well, like I said, not even AI seems to have the answer for that one, except universal income, which is not going to fly. And by the way, where do we get the money for universal income? We need a tax base, right? So we're now taxing AI, and I guess we'll make all our money out of that. You would have to change the entire IRS code to charge, obviously, just about everything. 90% of our entire tax revenue, if not all of it, will be based off AI tech companies. I have a feeling that the tech bros are going to oppose that for some reason. So I don't know. These are just me thinking out loud. Like I said, if you have any theories on where this could possibly go, other than the far side of one argument is this is the end of civilization, or the other side where I'm going towards maybe, it's not all gloom and doom like we see in the movies, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, to go old school with Terminator. Maybe it's just, you know, we can't live up to the hype. It's going to do a lot. Congress will step in, whatever. I don't know. We'll see. But all I could say is enjoy that cup of coffee before AI makes it. Take care, everybody.